Okay, so dah record dah. Okay, kalau tidak lagi rugi. Okay, thank you. Alright, so now you already boleh nampak skrin ni? Okay, skrin dah okay. Recording pun dah on. Harap-harap nanti masa exam nanti tak ada jadi macam ni. So, recording dah on tadi kan? Recording dah on. Alright. So you let X be the number of operating days in China and then Y be the number of operating days in Vietnam. So the China and Vietnam here is not the factory, okay? It's the number of operating days in China and Vietnam. And then what you do next is that given the objective is the cost, so you got to come up with the cost, and the cost is linear function. So cost linear function is just simply so the objective, all right? Objective, I will write down here. Objective is the cost. Okay, C equal to AX plus BY. So the linear function, objective is linear. So don't, for linear programming, the objective is linear function. And then given the cost per day, all right, the average cost, if you look at the question, you have the daily operating cost, Vietnam, China, okay? So Vietnam is 15,000, China is 20. So you will have the objective function 20x, 20,000x, because that is x is China, okay? The number of operating days in China, and y is the number of operating days in Vietnam. So that will be 20,000 x plus 15,000 y. So that is our objective. So now you come up with the constraints which are coming from the table. So therefore you state the problem. So the problem is minimize. Okay, so the problem is minimize your cost equal to, so you have to say minimize, subject to. Okay, otherwise, so here you list the constraints. Otherwise, how we don't know, what is the purpose of your work. So here, you put here minimize the cost, right? Subject to these constraints. So you find first, of course, the corner points, okay, for every inequalities. So you write them in term function. Or here, you don't have to write the function pun tak apa. It's a function, so you just find the intercept, y equal to 0, everything. So you get the intercepts, all right? So the x-intercept here is not 2080, okay? The x-intercept is equal to what? It's equal to 0. The x-intercept here is 20, 0. Okay, it's not that one. So you find the critical, the intercepts. Okay, this is how you do the intercept. So you find the intercept. For the first inequality, you got 80x plus 20y equal to 1600. Now, when x equal to 0, y equal to 1600 divided by 20, that will be equal to 80. So our y-intercept here is 0, 80. Okay? And then you want to find the x-intercept, y equal to 0. You will see x equal to 1600 divided by 80. So that will be equal to what? 20, 0. So you do every inequality, so you will get the intercept. So if you go back to this solution, so here, okay, the x-intercept 20, 0. Y-intercept 0, 80. Okay, and then you do for the second inequality, you will get 50, 0, 0, 50. Okay, so here 50, 0, 0, 50. And then for the last one, you will get 0, 100, 0. And then the y-intercept 0, 28.57. Okay, all right. So given those intercepts, you draw the graph. Okay, so here you got the graph. So you look at your answers. Is there any difference from what you have here? So the first inequality, or the first corresponding to the first equation corresponding to the first inequality, you will get, as we do it, 80 plus 20, okay, 80x plus 20y. Dengar tak dengar ni? Hello? Benda ni, 20, okay, 20 and 80. 20, 0, 20, 0, 20. This is X. All right, so you have the inequalities or the intercepts 0, 80, 20, 0. Oh. Okay, so that one would be the first one. Okay, 20, 0, 80. So the graph, that is inequality number 1. The equation that corresponds to inequality number 1. Okay, and then here will correspond to the equation will correspond to the inequality number 2. Okay, number 2, you have what? You have the intercepts 50, 50. So 50, 50 is this one and that one. Okay, and then you have the third inequality that this intercept. Now everything is bigger then. Okay, so you just shade the area. So this graph is very good. You shade all the area corresponding to each inequality. Then what you get, the feasible region, is the one that bounded by this point A, B, C, D, upward. Okay, so that is the feasible region. Okay, any question about that one? So make sure you shade the corresponding inequality. Okay, all right. So you will get the intercept will be the area, very big area, but don't worry about the area, whether it is big or not. We just worry about the corner points. Okay, so corner points B, A, B, C, D. Okay, any question about that? Good. Okay, so now what you need is you need to find the point AB. All right, so next you need to find AB. So you have to solve the system lah. Okay, AB is what system and what system of equation. So for point A, all right, for point A, what you need to do here, you will get the point, all right? So dia tak ada buat. Macam mana dia dapat point ni? Did you do that solution? So here are the corner points, all right? Okay, this is how we find point B. Okay, point B is the intersection between this line here, y equal to 80 minus 4x, y equal to 50 minus x. Now, she's already simplified the equation, which is good. So actually for point B, if you just refer to the original equation, let's say, no, A kita faham, okay? A is already good. You need to find B, okay, which is a system of 2 equations. Then you find C. Okay, this one you need to find. Okay. All right. Now the point B, okay, point B is the intersection of these 2 equations. Y equal to 80 minus 4x, y equal to 50 minus x. So where did this come from? Okay, this will come from the inequality, yeah? All right, you have the inequality, 1, 2, 3, okay? So to find point B is the inequality yang ni, 50-50. So 50-50 is the inequality yang nombor 2. Okay, so she already simplified to us. All right, and then the other equation is the inequality number 1. Okay, inequality number 1. This one she already simplified to us. So that's why we get y equal to 80 minus 4x, y equal to 50 minus x. So that is from the inequality number 1 and inequality number 2. So you get the point 10, 40. But it's a system, okay? System of 2 linear functions, so not difficult to find. And then you got to find point C, you'll get 30, 20. So now the corner points are, all right, you can table the corner point, 0, 80, 10, 40, 30, 20, 10, 100, and then put into the cost, you will get the values. So now we just observe. So we can see here, the point that give you the minimum cost is 10, 40. And the minimum cost is 800,000. So your conclusion is you have to operate, or the number of operating days in China is 10 days, and Vietnam is 40 days to minimize the cost. Okay, and the minimum cost is 800,000. So that is question number 2. Okay, anything about this question? All right. So you go through with your answer. Okay, anything that you make a mistake, just mark. Okay, and then do the correction now or do the correction later. But this is the answer. Okay. All right. Now question number 3. Now question number 3. Itu bunyi apa tu? Hello. Siapa bercakap tu? Okay, now question number 3. You have the revenue given. You have the cost given. Okay. You get the profit. And then you take the derivative with respect to P. This is partial derivative. All right. Derivative with respect to P, and then Px. You got Px, and then Py. You set that to 0 for critical point. And then you will get the solution. So that solution will be the critical point. Okay, you solve the solution. Betul kan ini solution ni? Betul. So if you look at this solution, dia substitute y itu dalam dia. Okay, and then you got x equal to 2286. Yeah, that's true. That's correct. So kita dapat y equal to 5,000 minus 2x ni, and then you substitute into py. So you dapat ni. Okay, and then you get x 2286. and then substitute back into the y, you get y 428. That is the critical point. Okay. Now, if you got wrong your p prime, px and py, okay, now I want you to write down. Okay, write down the px, write down the py, set that to 0. So critical point is this point. Okay. Finish? No, are you finished or not yet? Let me know. Because I want you to get the solution. So I will, will take time. It's okay. You done yet or not yet?
Yes, sir.
Kita ni dah terputus balik ke?
Done, sir.
Done. Okay, good. So once you get the critical point, you do the second partial derivative. Okay, so you will get pxx negative 20, pyy negative 40, and then the cross partial, you got negative 10. Now to test for maximum or minimum, you got to get the d. D is what? Pxx, pyy minus pxy squared. So you put in the values and you'll see it's positive. So when d is positive, it can be, the critical point can be maximum or minimum, because that is the first condition. Okay, so now d is positive. Good. So you have to look at pxx and pyy. Okay, so you check here, you will see pxx equal to negative 20. Okay, so you should write that one up. We should write pxx equal to negative 20. Okay, that is less than 0. pyy equal to negative 40, and that is less than 0. So, okay, so d is equal to whatever the value bigger than 0, and pxx equal to negative 20 less than 0, pyy equal to negative 40 less than 0. So what? So the function, okay, the function, say profit, is maximum at x equal to whatever, y equal to whatever. Okay, that's the point. So if you say that, okay, you say that to maximize the profit, so here p has a maximum at the point, okay, which is correct. And then what you do, you describe the point, all right? So determine the number of days to operate, to minimize the cost. So what you say is this: to minimize costs, to maximize cost, to maximize profit. All right. To maximize profit, kita maximize cost atau minimize cost? Siapa dah pening?
Saya tengok soalan 2.
Ini soalan nombor 3. Kita tengok soalan nombor 2. Apa? Okay. Tanya. To maximize profit. So, we say that to maximize profit, we have to produce. Okay. You have to produce 228 of 226 of X, which is what? Which is the white bread. So you have to produce 2,286 loaves of white bread and 428 loaves of wheat bread. So that is part A. So you should put another statement kat bawah tu. So we say that to maximize profit, we have to sell, okay, whatever the units, loaves of white bread and whatever the units are the number loaves of wheat bread. Okay. Itu dah. Alright. So that is part A. Now part B, we already determined the profit is maximum at that point. Okay. So to get the maximum profit, we just substitute the point into P. Okay. So to get the maximum profit, which is the question part B, okay, we substitute the X and Y into the profit function. Saya menit tak hilang. Okay. So part B, to get the maximum profit, substitute. Alright, X equal to whatever tadi, Y equal to whatever you get tadi, into P. Okay, not P prime. So P equal to, put into the numbers, then you will get the value. So that will be the maximum profit. So you say the maximum profit, okay, is whatever RM. All right, so that is part B. So you substitute value tadi lah. Okay, the value X equal to 2286, Y equal to 428 into this one, into this profit function. So you get the maximum profit. Okay. All right. Any question about that? So that is part 3. No, question number 3. Now question number 4. Question number 4 ni kacang je lah. So question number 4. This is the question that I give to make people pass. Okay. If you can answer this question, you can answer 1 or 2 more, the other you can pass. So this one, if we cannot answer, that really a problem. Okay. So number 1, this is very easy to get the derivative of this one, very easy. And then to get the linear function, you just apply the slope and then get the intercept. This one very easy. And then C, find all the relative maximum minimum. So here you get this, the derivative, fx, and then you get the derivative fy, and then you find the points, critical point. And then what you do, you test the second derivative test. So if you go by the answer here, part A, f prime, you got that. And then to get for B, first you get the slope, okay? M equal to, you got the slope, and then substitute back, you get the intercept. So you got the equation. So that is the equation. And then part C, okay, part C, she didn't have the time to do it. So let us do it. So if you look at that thing, you first you have to find the derivative, the partial derivative. Saya ni tak boleh buat. Yang atas tu boleh buat. So you look at this thing here. I will just do the question 4, part 3, C. So you have fx, okay, which is the derivative of the function 4x plus 4y. All right. 4x plus 4y. minus 2xy minus 4. Okay, and then you got fy. Now this one, if you cannot do tak apa, you know. Susah juga ni punya. If you do the fy, you got 4x minus x squared. Now critical point, set that to 0, set that to 0. That's number 1, that's number 2. Now, as you can see here, fy is now, yeah? Fy is only in terms of x. So you can start with number 2. So what you do here? You got 4, okay? No, you don't go 4. You factor out the x. X, 4 minus x equals 0 from number 2. Okay? So what is x? X equal to 0, x equal to 4. Okay? Now, when you got x equal to 0, x equal to 4, that means there will be 2 critical points. So to find y, you substitute first x equal to 0 into what? Into number 1. All right? And then you have to find another point corresponding to x equal to 4. So therefore, you do another substitution. Then you get another y, okay? Another point, x equal to 4 into 1. Okay, then you got another y. So there'll be 2 critical points. So that will be 0, whatever the value that you get. And then the other one will be 4, whatever you get here. Okay, so you get 2 critical points. And then in order for you to test for maximum minimum, senang ya, tadi kita dah buat dah. Okay, so you got D equal to fxx fyy minus fxy squared. So kalau the question number 3 itu boleh buat, yang ni takkan tak boleh buat. Right? So you finish it up. Okay, any question about the test? All right, good. So now we will move on into the last part of the chapter. Okay, the last part of the chapter, the application that I would like just to look at will be just one application. And the application is in the book. This is called the input-output problem. Okay, input-output. So go back to the book. So I want you to go to the book. Please take out your book. Go to chapter number 3. And this is 3.5. Okay, input-output problem. Okay, input-output problem is an economic application. If you look at the economy, okay, we simplify the economy. The basic idea is you have many goods being produced in the economy. So input-output ni basically macam ni je. Okay, input-output problem. Here you have the economy. Okay, in the economy, there are many goods and services produced. Right? For example, good that is produced, give me one good that we produce in Malaysia. Baik-baik, satu yang common, yang kita selalu makan, apa benda?
Milo.
Apa?
Nasi.
Nasi. Okay, rice. Okay, this is a good example, rice. Now, the rice that is being produced, now rice ni bukan nasi lagi tau. Rice beras. Okay, this rice is beras, not nasi. Dia belum masuk lagi. Okay, the rice that being produced, what are the use of the rice? What do we use the rice for in terms of the beras?
To cook.
One is you consume. Okay, we consume become cooking. Okay, you cook, you eat the rice. Okay, that is only one use. What is there another use of rice? Or you don't have another use of rice?
Buat tepung.
Buat tepung. Okay, the other one is used to make flour. So this is the difference here. This one is consume. Okay, consume. And then if you make flour, there is a difference between number 1 and number 2. Okay, now if it is used to make flour, then what will happen after that?
Sell.
From the flour dia jadi beras. Dia tak lagi makan, tak tahu. Dia tepung beras tu jadi beras.
Ingredient for cooking.
Buat laksa.
Buat laksa, buat kuih. Okay, your mother buat the flour, buat kuih atau buat laksa. So this one can be used for laksa or cakes or kuih Melayu. Okay, banyak guna. Okay, so here the difference is, one is being consumed right away. You cook as rice, you consume. But the second one is there is a difference. The rice that is being sold as flour, in terms of the production of flour, the rice becoming what? The rice is becoming an input. Okay, an input to produce flour. So input-output problem is this. The rice is the output, but that output, which is rice, is being used as our consumption to cook and consume it. And another use of that will be what? Will be used as input to produce other goods. Okay, other goods here. So that's basically input-output. For every output that we produce, it's either being consumed, all right? Not either. It will be being consumed, we call it final consumption, and used as input to produce other goods. So one output, all right, or a good or service, normally good lah, produced will go as final consumption. That means, for example, you buy the brush, you cook it, or the other one will be used as input to produce other goods. So that is happening in economy. Okay, everything, not everything moves. Okay, so we can generalize everything that we produce will go as final consumption and input to produce other goods. Just the proportion will be different. Okay, so that is the idea. Now the economy consisting of too many things. So what you do, you will just simplify. Okay, you simplify the economy. We make it into sectors. Okay, sectors, maybe agriculture, manufacturing, and service. Okay, so maybe a few sectors. agriculture, manufacturing, service, or sometimes they have like agriculture and industry. Okay, so these are these three. Maybe, you know, for bigger economy, you can make it a larger sectors. But for us, we just consider 2 sectors. Okay, so that is the idea. So having understood, you know, that basic idea, then what we do here is we will make it a more formal, okay, more formal presentation of this idea. So let us consider a simple economy. All right. Let's consider simple economy. 2 sectors. All right. 2 sectors. We call it A, B. And the quantity of the output, you call it X, Y. So you got X here, the quantity, okay, quantity of output Y in A. And then you call B, okay, we call it X or Y, quantity of output. Now, anybody has class after this? Anybody has a class after 11:30?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tak ada?
Ada.
If you have a class after this, you can go. If you don't, I will continue because I don't think I can finish up. All right? And then I will share you the recording. Okay? So I will finish it up. Probably I will take a little bit more than 11:30. But I will try. So you got the sectors A, B, and the quantities are X and Y. We call it X, Y. So we will consider the output. All right. The idea is the output from A, which is X, will be used as final consumption and inputs to produce other goods. Okay. So here you got 2 sectors. So formally it will be what? Will be you got X equal to A11X plus B, no B, we use A here. A12Y plus D, call it D1, all right? And then I got Y equal to A21X plus A22Y plus D2. So here, this is the output. The output from sector A. So here, X, the output, sector A, which is X, and then Y, the output, sector B, okay? And the output will be used as inputs to produce other goods. So this is the input side. And then this one is D1, D2 is the final consumption. Final consumption, or if you look at the book, they call it, we can call it another term. Apa term dia? Saya pada lupa sebab saya selalu guna final consumption je. Dipanggil apa? Dipanggil final demand. Okay, final demand. Sometimes they call it surplus. Okay, so that surplus will go as final consumption. So this is the input part. All right. Now, this A1, A2, A1, A12, A21, A22, these are the proportion. Okay, the proportion. The proportion of each output that is going to be used to produce proportion of each output that is used as input to produce, okay, to produce other goods lah. All right. So to produce other goods here, X and Y. All right. Okay. Now we can write this in terms of matrix. So here I got X, Y, that is the matrix XY, equal to the matrix of the proportion, which are constant. So A11, A12, A21, A22, multiplied by XY. All right, equal to, not equal to, plus D1, D2. Okay, all right. So we call this matrix X equal to, call it A, all right, multiplied by X plus D. So that matrix A, in terms of the input-output matrix, we call it the technology matrix. So that A, we call it technology matrix. Now, from that equation, in terms of AX and X, so what we do here is you bring the AX to the left. So what you got will be X minus AX equal to D. Then you factor out the X. So you got identity matrix minus A times X equal D. All right? And then what you got will be X equal to I minus A inverse multiplied by D. So in order for us to find X, this problem here is you will find X, the matrix X, right? Which is the quantity of X and quantity of Y that satisfy the input requirement, that satisfy the input requirement. That means you want to use all those output as input, okay, input requirement, and what? And the final demand. So that is what we want to find. So you want to find the X, all right? Now, in order for you to do that, number one, you get to have A, okay? You compute matrix A, the technology matrix, okay? Number two, you don't want to find the inverse of A. You want to find the inverse of I minus A. So number two, you get the difference, I minus A. Number three, then you find the inverse of I minus A. Then number four, solve. So the only steps involved, all right? You want to find A, and then you got A, I minus A, and then get the inverse of I minus A. You don't want the inverse of A, okay? You want the inverse of I minus A, because that is the rule. I mean, this is the formula, okay? So in order for us to solve the problem, you just start from here. We don't need to start from where I started here. Where I started is just want to see the idea, all right? But when you want to find the x, we will start here. And then that was our problem is, our objective is to find the x, okay? The matrix x. All right, okay. So the technology matrix, A1, A2, AB, T, will be given normally, okay? Will be given, and then we will find the matrix A. So let us do that. So because my time is now very, very, very limited. So if you look at the matrix A, which is equal to A11, A12, A21, A22. All right. What we need here is in order for you to come up with the matrix A, we need to understand just how it works vertically. Okay. So vertically, you will say this is for the x, that is for the y. So when I say that, okay, vertically meaning to produce 1 unit of x. So that is the one that going up, downward, okay, the vertical. To produce 1 unit of x, we need, okay, we need A11 unit of x, because here is also x and y, okay? 1 unit of x and A21 unit of y. So that's why you call it the input requirement. To produce 1 unit of x, we need, okay, as input, A11 unit of x, and then A21 unit of y. Okay? So the second column would be to produce 1 unit of y. Okay, to produce 1 unit of y, what do I need? We need A12 unit of x and A22 unit of y. So given the information, we can get the matrix A. Okay? So in order to get the matrix A, this is what we have to understand. Okay, you have to understand the row, the column. So the first column is what? To produce 1 unit of x. That is the input requirement, A11 x and A21 y. And then similarly for the y. Okay, any question about this? Okay, so let's look at the example. Okay, I want to find an example where you have only a 2 by 2 matrix. Sekejap saya cari dulu. Sebab dalam buku ni dia banyak 3 by 3. Okay, go to question number 19. Okay, number 19. There are many questions, but some of the questions, the matrix is already given. So go to question number 19. Okay, if you look at question number 19, you have two economy. I mean, you have a simple economy. There are only two sectors, all right, which is the industry. Okay, you have the industry sector. And what is the other one? Computer sector. Okay, can you see that? Number 19, if you have a different addition, maybe the question number is different. But go to that question. You have the industry and the computer. Okay, has electronic component. Actually, not industry. It's electronic component. Okay, so here electronic lah sebenarnya. Electronic component industry and the computer industry. So if you see that each unit will require input of certain amount. So now you write the technology matrix. So we call this sector industry electronic, call it X. And then the computer industry, call it Y. Okay? So you want to find the matrix A, all right, which is equal to A11, A12, A21, A22. And that is now equal to, okay, this is what we want to put in the numbers. So X is the electronic industry, Y is the computer industry. So as we already explained, you go by the column. So this is the input requirement for X. That will be A11, A21. And then the second column will be the input requirement for Y. That will be A12, A22. So you read the question. Each unit of the electronic component industry require 0.3 electronic, 0.2 computer. So how do you put the numbers? And then the computer industry, one unit will require 0.6 of electronic, 0.2 of industry. So how do you put in the numbers? What is A11?
0.3.
Okay, A11 will be 0.3. And then what is the next value? A21?
0.6.
No, A21. A21. This one.
0.2.
It is 0.2. We go by the vertical, all right? We go by the column. So 1 unit of X, okay, 1 unit of X require 0.3. 0.3 unit of X, which is electronic, and then 0.2 unit of computer, which is Y. So we go by the column. And then to get the value A12, A22, in order to produce 1 unit of Y, which is the computer industry, we require what? 0.6 of X, which is the electronic, and 0.2 of computer output. So that would be our electronic, our technology matrix. So we identify the elements by the column. Okay, first column is the input requirement for the X. Second column, input requirement of the Y. Okay, and any question? So don't worry about the row. Okay, now we just focus about the column, because that's how we get the input requirement for each of the industry. So we go by the column. So once you get that matrix A, okay, what you do, you will get, okay, that's the, okay, we answer B lah. That's A, we already get the matrix. Now, for the B, you will get surplus, okay? 6 for 8, and then 16. So that will be the matrix D. Okay, for the X, you got 6 for 8. For the Y, I got 16. To the D. So D is the final consumption or the surplus. All right. And then if I want to solve this, okay, if I want to find X and Y to produce, okay, to produce, to satisfy all everything, okay, to satisfy the input requirement and the surpluses or the final demand or the final consumption, then what we do, we use X equal to I minus A inverse multiplied by D. Okay, all right. Now D is already known. A is already known. So what you do, you find I minus A. Okay, everybody, get I minus A. Now, if you have a class after this, you can go, all right? For those people who don't have class, stay, because I need a few more minutes to finish up. Okay, now find I minus A. I means the identity matrix minus that matrix A.